Hey everyone, this is Matt, Peg, Patches, Foo-Foo, Star, Panama Jack, and Bandit. We're here with Stuffies United for Christ, and we're going to talk to you today about tracking and trailing again. And again, I don't have it with me, but my resources are coming from the Boy Scout Handbook. Now, we found out this last week that there's a whole lot more to footprints than just the shape and the design of the footprint that you're looking for, because you guys know that we're looking for Bigfoot. And this is our print. We drew it out. You guys saw this before. We're looking for that footprint, and we wanted to get all the information we could about that. And we're finding out that it's not just about the track that you found on the ground, but it's about the size, and it's about the dimension, how deep the track goes. And yes, because all these things tell a story. By following the track, you can find broken bushes, or sometimes what they call, what I like to call sheep droppings in our church. They leave marks behind, like scratches. Sometimes they leave behind what they call scat, and they leave other evidence and clues behind as to who this character is or this creature is that you're tracking. And those are the things that we're trying to watch out for now. And so as we go out there next week and next Saturday, if God allows us, we're going to be actually in the field trying to find Bigfoot's footprint. We kind of have a good idea where it might be at because of how Peg lost her Bigmac, but we're going to go back and we're going to try to get more information about this little creature that we're trying to find, which Peg says is a great big creature because she's convinced it's the Yeti. And so, because this footprint that we found, we have not been able to match it to any animal in the common database in the Boy Scout Handbook. Any animal, period. It doesn't click. It doesn't make sense. And so we're trying to go, wait a minute, we need to back up, because we know something took her Bigmac. So tracking is not just about following the footprint, but it's also following the characteristics of the creature that we're trying to find. And so in order for us to find our creature, we have to examine his entire behavior or her lifestyle, what he or she does or doesn't do, because we don't know if it's a guy or girl, we don't know. But the first steps is to try to discover the characteristics. Now for us, that means that we're going to have to go out there and look and try to figure some of this stuff out. How high branches are being disturbed or how low, how the tracks walk, are we following, how many footprints are involved? Is there sets of 4 or sets of 2? And how deep they go into the ground, especially around mud, or in dry dirt, or in soft dirt. I mean, all these things play a role into identifying the creature, because how deep it goes in the ground also tells us about how much this thing weighs. These are some things we've learned. I know you're all thinking, what's this got to do with anything? Well, when you're tracking anybody, you just can't look at the footprints, but you have to look at the characteristics itself. And that goes true, and it's the same when it comes to depression awareness, and it also comes true in general. It's a trait that all Christians carry with them. When we are trying to identify people, we are commanded to follow certain traits. Now, in our case here, when it comes to depression, for instance, there are key characteristics about depression. I'm not going to point them out here today because I only have so much time. However, look up the key characteristics of depression, and if you're trying to track somebody's life to know whether or not they're dealing with depression, or maybe you're dealing with depression yourself, you should look at the common characteristics and say, wait a minute, I'm following a path of depression here. That is a signal, that's a sign for you to back up. Or, and let's look at, and I mentioned Christianity for an example. Did you know in the Bible it tells us that we shall know them by their fruits? By their what? By their fruits. Remember me telling you about the sheep droppings that people leave behind? And this is what I call the sheep droppings. Little telltale clues that tell us, hey, I know who this person is, or what class of person this is. And the Bible tells us about it. Love, joy, peace, kindness, meekness, gentleness, temperance, long-suffering. Those are called the fruits of the Spirit. And you know, us as Christians, you know you're dealing with a Christian because they'll exhibit those things. Along with their footprint and the path that they're following. But they also leave behind those types of characteristics. And they also leave behind another characteristic, how they treat other people. So if you're a Christian, you're watching this, ask yourself this question as you're reading this video. Do you carry a lifestyle and a type of exemplar that people will, they won't have to ask you if you're a Christian. They'll know you're a Christian by the fruit that's in your life, by the way you behave and treat other people. Something to think about. Just like we know the fruits of people in depression, if we just look for those signs and symptoms that they may be exhibiting or the behaviors that they're exhibiting. Every person, every walk, and even the creature that we're looking for exhibits characteristics that tell us who they are. This is Matt Pegg and Stuffies United for Christ, and we're coming to you from Leavenworth, Kansas. Getting ready for our first outdoor adventure, trying to find our Yeti that has stolen Peg's Bigmac, and saying when you look at the footprints and follow the path of people, it's more than that. You also have to look at the characteristics of what's going on out there to help you to identify the right person you're trying to follow. This is Matt Pegg, Stuffies United Christ, coming from Leavenworth, Kansas, saying, be safe, be smart, have a purpose.